Mind awareness creates bottom line results. If you are advertising consistently, you'll be at the top of somebody's mind when they're choosing to make that purchase. For example, kids' shoes, 90% of people think of Clarks. Petrol, BP are the largest advertisers for petrol. Holiday deposit, something like Thompson's. Flowers, everybody thinks of Interflora. Phone charger, again, Marks and Spencer's for your parties. And again, if you need a new keyboard, you'll think to go to somewhere like PC World or somewhere like that. It's because they have built their brand up, they have spent and invested millions in being at the forefront of your mind. And you can do that here in Cornwall, and it doesn't cost a fortune. If you advertise consistently, you can get the best value for money out of your advertising budget. So why should you advertise now? We're in a recession. Why would anyone want to spend money advertising? The reason being is it is the right time to advertise. The first budget that people cut back in a recession is their advertising budget. What you should actually be doing is actually spending more on your advertising. Because when there's a slowdown, everybody loses market share because people aren't actually spending as much money, so the whole market share shrinks. But if you're advertising, what happens is you will actually take an unfair share of the market. So when the market recovers, and it will, you will actually ultimately grow your business because you'll be out there, you'll be in the forefront of that customer's mind. And when they're looking at making that purchase and think, yeah, I'm actually going to go on holiday, they will choose your business because that's the one they've heard or they've seen or they've had the leaflet go through their door. So the right time to advertise in tough times, companies that advertise consistently will succeed and grow. There is only one time to advertise, and that is all the time. And you can actually get the best value for money out of your newspaper, business magazine, radio station if you actually choose to do a year-long advertising package rather than short-term, short bursts. For example, if you chose to advertise with, obviously I can only use Atlantic FM as examples, but if you chose to advertise with us for a year, you came to us and you did a drip feed advertising campaign for a year, which you can then boost up for your big campaigns, you'd be looking at spending around about from sort of £450 a month upwards. Okay, that will give you a nice advertising campaign. You'd be on air, good portion of the month. But if you came to me and said, Kathryn, I want to advertise, I've got a short-term campaign I want to do, I need to be on air next week. At the moment we're 100% availability, we haven't got any availability. You'd be looking at paying a premium. You could be paying anything up to £20 a commercial. So you could be paying £2,000 for a 2-week-long advertising campaign, as opposed to sort of £429 a month, £2,500 for a 6-month advertising campaign. Is getting the best value for money. You may think, oh my goodness, £450 a month on an advertising campaign, whether it's press, whatever, is a lot of money to spend. But then if you actually sat there and looked and thought, oh well, last year in the press I did an advertising campaign here, I did one here, I did one here. If you added it all up, it probably would come to an awful lot more than you thought you spent. A good example of this is Kingsley Village. In the first year that they advertised, they did short-term advertising. They had a marketing budget, but they decided not to book their advertising from the start. They just booked it short-term. And they actually overspent by £140,000 in their first year of marketing by just booking short-term. And I've spoken to them numerous times about advertising. They said, well, we don't plan long-term. We just do short, sharp campaigns. Finally, after 3 years of speaking to them, they've actually booked a long-term campaign with us, and they've got it at a greatly reduced price because they've booked the long-term campaign. So what I would just advise you is have a look at your advertising budget and spend it wisely. Get the best value for money from... I'm not saying you have to advertise on radio. I'm saying mix your media, but get the best value for money. And now is the right time to be looking at your marketing budget, advertising budget for next year, because this is when you can get the best prices from all the publications, all the media out there, because everybody's trying to get forward business for next year. So the best thing to do, best advice I can give you, is go and speak to your account managers at the publications that you normally use and actually ask them if you can book long term and what discount they will give you for booking long term, because there are an awful lot of discounts to be had. And if you do book long term, you will benefit because your name will be the first name that they will think. So thank you for listening.